Hey everybody, I hope you're all having a great week. Last Tuesday, Adam surprised me and asked if I wanted to head out of the mountain Friday night, and clearly I'm not going to turn that down. So naturally, last Wednesday, I get everything ready since I have some downtime. I finally fixed the recline strap in my backseat a few weeks ago, and I'm excited to test out the Queen Air mattress this trip. Test run went great, minus the blankets and pillows. I try to keep it as light and simple as possible, minimal kitchen tools, but what I can get the most performance out of. Air mattresses, sleeping bags, chairs, food. So I typically head out with one plastic container, a cooler, size depending on the trip, water, and things for a comfy night's sleep. Well, Tuesday morning as I'm taking my son to school, I find out there's liquid all next to my car. I have a moment of panic attack, establish its oil, and have a little more of a panic attack. Start the car up, she's running fine. So I take Ace to school and then head over at Adam's work to get a second opinion. Last oil change, I didn't have a way to get the filter off, and it was an early change to begin with. I personally can't get an angle in the filter unless the tire's off, and I didn't have the sockets for the tires last time. So when I couldn't get the filter off, I told myself I'd just do it next time since, like I said, it was an early change to begin with. In the process of getting ready to try and establish the problem, my grandmother asked me if I've seen a bag of napkins. I know she was asking because she had a few friends over the couple days before, and I had helped her clean up, but I couldn't remember any napkins. Then she had told me they were in a blue bag sitting in one chair, and it clicked. Thinking nothing of it, I told her, yeah, sorry. I had Ace throw it in the recycling since that's normally what she threw in those bags. Instant tears, and I freaked out. Apparently they were her grandfather's napkins with the family's initials embroidered in them. Good job, Lena. Luckily it was recycling day and he was just finishing our block, so I followed him over and I was already plenty embarrassed, so bringing the camera wasn't happening. But I did grab some videos on my phone. These guys really saved my butt. Thank you again, guys. Back at the house and I'm almost positive it's the oil filter at this point. So I drain the oil and here's a little clip from the first oil change. And now, the current oil change since I've owned her. Seriously, such a difference. Ready for a little bit more drama, which I have no footage of? Sitting in bumper-to-bumper traffic on the 91 because, well, Southern California, of course, my thermostat decides to start climbing. Since I'd been more or less avoiding the problem and I knew I needed coolant soon, you know, since my reservoir was kind of empty. So while doing something stupid, I tried counteracting it by always carrying some distilled water with me. I turned the heat on as soon as I noticed, and sure enough, it cooled down. Pulled off to the side, and my lovely boyfriend got out and added some water. Thanks, babe. I kept the heater on a little bit longer for good measure while we got back on the road, just in case, and within a few minutes we were cruising with the AC on. Unfortunately, by the time we made it to Heart Bar, it was getting a little too late to film, so I couldn't really set up the setup process, but it was a really relaxing night to say the least. In the morning, I took a few videos so you can get an idea of my setup. As you can see, the driver's seat is down. I did this, it was more stable and convenient in and out of the vehicle. Before we went to bed, we put the plastic container on the passenger side since it was a more foot support, and then the cooler can go in the passenger seat so, you know, animals couldn't get to it. Under the seats in the back, I just put things we wanted out of the way. My purse, dirty clothes, etc. I really love this site because it's full of blue jays. Always a nice sight to see. And of course, I had to make the neighbors jealous from the get-go. I wish I was able to get some footage of the dinner, but I was able to make a bacon carbonara and a pretty crappy version of peach cobbler for dessert. But I was able to get some footage of breakfast. What a better way to keep the food warm and save on washing some more dishes. Until next time, thanks again for watching. Stay tuned.